Hey folks, welcome back to what will probably be the final play session for me, recording session of Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. I'm MysteriousJG. I have no intention of playing the trial mode. We defeated Yazamat and Omega Weapon and Zodiac and everything else. Optional superboss content-wise, I've shown you as much as the fishing minigame as we're going to do. We beat the all-powerful get these identical twin sisters to receive a letter to prevent them from having to marry identical twin brothers side quest. And if there's other side quests to be done, I've forgotten about them, or I don't care about them. Or some combination of all of the above. I'm going to look at the clan primer and just confirm. Yeah, we got Yazamat up there. We're going to use the ladies for the rest of the game. And I think this is what I want them equipped with. What has she got equipped instead? She's got white robes. I think that increases the damage of Holy, which helps if she's using Excalibur, which she isn't. She's got the Gaia hat, which is helping with, I don't know what. What do they want her to have instead? The golden skull cap? Sure. Whatever. Alright. Not sure why she doesn't have full mist charges. But yeah, no, we've done all of the side quests we're going to do. There's really nothing left to do except win the main game. And the last thing that stands in our way of winning the main game right now... Well, that doesn't make sense for me to put it this way. No, what I mean to say is... I mean, if we just recap where the actual story of the main game is right now... We, our most recent bit of plot was, you know, we went all the way down to... Where does it even show up on this map? Giru Vegan, which is this weird, mystical place with a magical crystal inside, which is connected to the... God, I don't even remember what they're called now. The Obscura, these weird, like... mysterious race of god beings that manipulate humanity, and they in history like gave the original King Wraithwall, the ancestor of Princess Ash, like, you know, they gave him the magical sword and crystals that gave him the power to rule, and these Nethicite has this incredible power. But everything that's been going on in the story is a result of the guys up here in Arcades and this empire up here trying to mine Nethicite in places like Bujerba, for example. They've been trying to mine Nethicite and have artificially crafted Nethicite. Nethicite's some weird magical stone. And they want to mine their own so that they can have power and conquer everyone else. And these mystical god creatures are like, we're going to give you superpowers, Ash, so that you can avenge the death of your husband and Van's brother and everyone else from the peaceful, I suppose, although apparently not always, I'm not clear on that, kingdom of Ravenaster. You guys will be able to take revenge on these some bitches up in Arcades and the evil empire who already wiped out whatever country used to be in up here. Nabudis or Nabrius or wherever. So the evil empire guys, they've already used the power of day-affected Nephicite or whatever weird fantasy crap to wipe out a whole country, and they've basically taken over Albina, and they've taken over Ravenaster, and they're making their way towards this kingdom out to the west, which we never get to, and they're going to go to war with them. And weird accent guy who has like some chick in a schoolgirl outfit who follows him around wants us to help him prevent this huge war. So anyway, you know, we go down here to where the gods are hanging out, and the gods are like, "Hey Ash, take these magical crystals and use them to like wreak revenge and become super powerful." And Ash is like, "I don't know if I want to do that or not." And eventually, we all go to the Rihanna Cataract and Pharos, which is where we're supposed to be able to claim the Sun Crystal, the most powerful stone ever. But Balthier's dad, Sid, who's a researcher for the Empire, well, we only go there because he's there and we're trying to stop him. He wants the Sun Crystal for himself, but when we get there and fight him, basically he tells us to bring humanity's destiny back in humanity's own hands. And one of the Obscura, with the god guys, has broken off from the other god guys and has been helping the Empire because it seems like its motivation, Vana, I think is the name of this independent god weirdo. He's a sort of Prometheus guy who wants to give the power of the gods to the humans. But unfortunately, that has taken the form of him giving it to this empire that's going to use it to take over the world. So he's kind of a bad guy with, like, but it's Prometheus. But Prometheus is a bad guy because Prometheus has given the gift of fire to some people who are not really being very responsible about how they're using it. I guess that's the best way to put it. So anyway, now, although we defeated the Sun Crystal, a huge amount of moon crystal power and rainbow magic love energy was released. And it's gone into the battleship, the flying airship Bahamut, which is the center of the Imperial fleet. And now the Imperial fleet is super powerful. So not only are they going to go to a big war with this kingdom out to the west, which we were trying to prevent because Rabanastre will be caught in the middle, but they're likely going to kick that kingdom's ass and just like totally take over the world because they got so much power now. So our mission now is to go to the airship Bahamut and put a stop to it, even though there's no particular reason we should be able to do that. Except that I guess we have a magical sword that can get rid of Nethicite. But I don't think it's down to there being one big crystal of Nethicite anymore. I think like literally this monster airship has absorbed the power of Bleach. But also the main villain of the game, who's barely ever showed up. He seems like a cool character when he does, but he's barely ever showed up, whose name is Vane, which is really confusing because it sounds way too much like Vaughn, who's the main character, kind of. But Vane is on the Bahamut, so maybe if we go to the Bahamut, and presumably we can bypass the billions of guards and get to the main guy if we want to. But presumably if we're allowed to fight him this time and we defeat him, we win the game because he's the main bad guy. Also, he killed his dad, or maneuvered in ways for his dad to be killed. And this kingdom up here that has been wiped out, well, like one of our party members has a twin brother. They're both from here, but his twin brother is really upset about what happened here, and as a result, he went to work for the evil empire, which destroyed the place, even though that wouldn't seem to make sense. But and also there's a guy who talks like Jet Black from Cowboy Bebop, who's also upset about how this place got wiped out, and that's why he temporarily joined us as a guest and died at Pharos. And the bunny girl comes from Ariad Village, although they never figure into that. I always figured at some point they'd explain what the fuck the bunnies were about and why Fran and Balthier are connected. They don't really explain that. I guess that's okay. Maybe this game, maybe they do a standalone Balthier prequel. You know, Balthier, a Final Fantasy story, which we'll talk about how he first met Fran. And then there's Penelo, but nobody cares about her. So yeah, that's the story of the most recent chunk of the game. I haven't even bothered to recap the entire plot, but basically we're going to a big airship to try to take out the main bad.
Good day, we handle all private airship arrivals. How may I help you? Your ship was a straw, wasn't it? Some rando Moogle was keeping tabs on it, weren't they? Yeah.
Once you leave for Bahamut, you will not be able to return. Continue? Yes. Wipe out memory of game from mankind's consciousness? But no, this game has some good points. It's a lot of good points. This game is I've said it 100 times. Maybe this will be the last time I say it. This game is a lot more tolerable with the speed up function because there's a ton of really draggy stretches in combat that the speed up function helps with immensely. I imagine I will find much the same to be true of Final Fantasy VIII with the junctioning system and stuff.
What could it be?
drawing magic out of enemies. Or tornado? Oh my god, that must be a pixie. That could drain 25% of our remaining HP. Making it a frustrating attack to be hit with when you're way over leveled for this pixie, and it really shouldn't be able to do that much damage to you. But yeah, basically Airship Leviathan is like a monstrous airship the size of a city, and it's full of magical power, and it's got a death vortex spinning around it, and apparently we're going to fly right into that shit. You're okay with this, little brother?
Make your target the Resistance heavy cruiser.
They have one?
Our dear Cid, slain by his son.
Well, I'm just mentioning that now because I know it for some reason.
A common tale of late.
Oh no, he's being spoken to by that weird invisible god guy.
Sighting is good.
Release valves open. The nether sites are critical.
Auxiliary show clear.
Okay, I'm glad I get to pause here. That's a cute little piece of dialogue that I'm now interrupting the dialogue to tell you. Like when he says, a common tale of late, that's because he murdered his own father too. You know, this is just the thing that happens in this game.
Put an end to this.
But the little brother apparently didn't pick up on that.
Let us make of this an offering. One he might see even now.
Cid, our dad, who?
Benno, what say you?
I'm not even here, you're crazy. Wait, now you're gonna let the invisible god decide whether or not to kill all these people? I thought the whole point was that he's freeing you from the control of the gods.
Fire
is my favorite element. So he's just gonna wipe out Rabanastre for no reason. This is sort of a Death Star situation. You may fire. Or maybe it's Nalbina he's gonna wipe out because nobody really cares about Nalbina. Oh no, I'm sorry. They did specifically say it's the Resistance heavy cruiser, which is somehow different. It is somehow identifiably different for the targeting guys from the 5 identical-looking ships we saw flying around.
Why this?
And if they surrendered, why were they still flying around in front of us like they weren't surrendering?
Once they see that there can be no surrender, the Resistance must needs come at us with all they have.
That would be fun.
We will answer their attack head-on and destroy them before the eyes of all Rabanastre.
And then they will surrender.
If you do this, the people will only grow to hate you the more.
That's right.
And should I pardon them, they will only rise up yet again.
I do not believe they would.
Nits breed lies, kid.
In cooperation lies our hope. You are mistaken.
Yeah, well, you're stupid.
You were wrong, brother.
You want to be the next target of my giant super gun, kid?
And if I am? You had best find the strength you need to correct me then.
And I'm doing that right now.
Ship sighted ahead. A score or more. The Resistance fleet, my lord.
Hear this.
Yeah? What's up, boss?
Today we write the first page of a new history. Our history.
Full of unnecessary capitalized words.
His part. Put down this rebellion. For Arcadia, we fight!
For Arcadia!
Good thing he didn't mimic Daravan. Because that would put you to sleep. Yeah, Star Wars. This is Final Fantasy at its most Star Warsy. It's most prequely too. Fortune favors the bold. The minstrel boy to the war has come. Or is gone. Watch out for those buzz droids. I think I probably know the story of the prequels better than about 95% of the population just because I've watched them repeatedly with the riff tracks on. I don't know if anybody remembers what the fuck the buzz droids were. This is our meeting dance. But I was potty trained. I wasn't trained for combat.
All ships clear.
All ships clear.
Make ready and fire.
If only those heroes weren't off busy fighting, you know, Omega Weapon and Yazamat. They might have been here a long time ago, but now it's far too late for them to make a difference in this battle.
We have a clean line. Prepare the second volley. Be quick.
Well, you know, he capitalizes a lot fewer words when he's speaking than he does when he's writing.
By the gods.
One specific god who's hanging around in the background telling that guy to blow me up. You know, I take it back. This powered up Bahamut doesn't really seem like a city-destroying level of weapon after all.
Carrier Galabal. She's lost.
You guys can't even manage air conditioning, but you've got all these giant flying airships.
Unknown ship from abaft.
A baft? The fuck is it? Is that a real word? Whatever.
Uncle, it is I.
It could mean from like above and behind.
To stop Vane.
What are you saying? You are too rash.
Also, it sounds like you're talking on an Arby's drive-through speaker. I can't understand it.
Allow them to destroy us here.
Oh, hey,
there
nice
will be
split
no
screen
after.
there.
You must assist our charge.
Stop. You must pull back.
I want to put more capitalized nouns in this
Hold
sentence.
it. I mean, wait. This is Master Solidor. We're
What?
going in with her, so we're fine. I got the princess covered.
Larsa Solidor?
How the hell?
So you hold him as a hostage?
No, Uncle. He will fight with us against Vane.
He just teleported onto our ship somehow. Yeah, like, how the hell did he get to your ship? This is Darth Vader. I'm listening in.
Understood. Our fate is in your hands.
The fans like,
Yes.
I got the princess covered.
Lars would say that.
We're relying on you for fire support. Give him something
oh,
to
okay,
think
never mind.
about.
He's not with us at all. We're just
We'll take our
making
moment
shit up.
and make our move.
I don't really understand why we're lying. I guess we were going to get blown up by Marquis Elmdor there unless we, see Marquis Elmdor? He doesn't have Celia or Lade with him, but I feel like that's his character name in this. Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Quite the welcome. Careful.
Aren't you the one flying?
One
Oh.
follows.
Ah, you want to dance? Then let's dance.
You know, the second half of that quip really didn't add anything to the first half of the
Easy
quip.
being this popular, you know.
That being said, I could kill somebody in the street and my voters would still support me.
There it is.
You know, this is a different kind of game. Maybe we'd actually get to, like, have a minigame where we got to control some of this. It's like Final Fantasy 3, or I guess we're supposed to call it 6 now.
Come on.
There would have been, like, an actual sequence where you controlled some of this instead of it all just being cinematics. I'm just throwing it out there. Or just throw in a couple of random battles, like, with you standing on the deck of the airship or something. Like, not necessarily difficult battles, kind of filler, but it gives you some player engagement with these sequences. But now we're just, it's going to be a completely normal dungeon from here on out.
Of the like on our way in here. Right above our heads.
I thought
We
that
need
was
not
just
fight all
shielding.
the Empire to win.
Just all the ones in
If
the
we can get to
space.
Vane, we can put an end to this war.
Let's get going then. Find Vane wherever he's perched and knock him off.
Knocking him off a perch is what will save the world. Alright, team, huddle up. Well, there you go. So, Vane's plans and this war end in the heart of the Bahamut. Not a bad, like, you know, action, fantasy, cinema sequence to get us here, but still, I'm just picturing similar sequences in, like, the old SNES days, or even there would have been, like, you know, pincer attack and Backtrack armors attack you and you beat them, and it's not a particularly special battle. You just do it, and then a plot scene plays, and then there's another battle, and then a plot scene plays, and eventually you're fighting in a standard dungeon. This one's just really, cool, neat-looking cinematics, and then dungeon. We obtained a piece of dark matter. I don't remember what the hell that's for. I guess it's like does damage, whatever. Non-elemental damage to all enemies. It's probably part of a bizarre recipe. It's too late for that kind of thing at this point.
Oh, friend. I had to break this to you, but we defeated Yazumet.
And then, Van and Baltier and Vash are like, you guys defeated Bahamut? When did that happen? So we really can't be expecting a whole lot of challenge from these guys. I keep checking this map, and it ain't working. So this is not particularly difficult, even if you're not strong enough to... I mean, my recall is there's nothing really that tough about the last dungeon of the game. Oh. I'm not trying to... I figured I'd do a relatively full clear, but... We seem to have, kind of beelined into what will actually progress the story. Yeah, stop breathing so hard. Here comes Gold Leader. Jack Tono Porkins is about to get killed here. What a bunch of cheaters. Oh, it's a Japanese game. What a brilliant tactic. The Japanese are not the only ones that have used that tactic. Oh my... One thing I do like about the airship designs in this game is there's no particular reason, with the magical power source these things use, there's no particular reason that A, they would look aerodynamic like modern airplanes, or B, that they'd look like boats. So the fact that they don't look like either,
The Resistance fights
kind of okay.
their battle well. We dare not fail them. We dare not falter.
They'll totally
Stop
kick out
worrying.
Ash.
We just have to clean up here, and then Ash will be the queen.
Then I could marry her.
Believe. I can't even imagine trying to rule a whole kingdom.
Well, don't worry about it. You're not going to have
run
to.
away with the help of a sky pirate looking to raise his bounty a peg.
I doubt our queen would need the help of any sky pirates.
Do you really think me as strong as all that?
Who said anything about strong?
What?
You'll make it. You got good friends.
We're going to help you escape so that you don't have to be queen. I think that's what they're all plotting here, isn't it? Well, whatever. Do I get to backtrack and explore the rest of this dungeon? Do we care about that at all? I don't even know what the hell that's... What the hell are these enemies supposed to be? Whatever. If we want to backtrack, it's this way, and it does look like it'll let us. So, just out of habit, I mean... I'm having fun here. I'm not in a huge rush to end this game as fast as possible. So let's see if we can explore the whole dungeon. May turn out that there's more than one path that takes us to that big central room, and that just entering that big central room would have always kicked off that cinematic. Or it could be that we will come to truly regret having failed the resistance by making this battle take too long, and they're going to murder us. Well, and it's starting to look like this place is arranged in a ring around that big central room, and if we go here, we'll go around in a circle again. And eventually we'll pop out at the place where we first came, and we'll know that when there's no treasure. a second. Why don't we have haste guy? We do have haste guy. Okay, never mind. We have haste guy, as we should. Not sure that I care about these guys, but... And this is completely out of habit that I'm picking up loot now. Obviously, we're well past the point in the game where we should be caring about that. Isn't Bulkhead 3 the first bulkhead that we opened? So maybe this will take us back to the room that... Oh, never mind. Either treasure respawns or we have one more loop to do before we go back to where we entered. But yeah, that is what it seems to be. We have to... Because this will be closed. And this will probably take us around... Oh, never mind. Bulkhead 2 on either side of the doors. In case anyone was worried about us not having enough Phoenix Downs, we're going to have enough Phoenix Downs. Bulkhead 4. Now I'm just curious. We're doing the full loop. I'm not sure that there's any real point. Just trying to feel like we were thorough yet gentle. You never know when you'll find something fun like the Blood Gigas Rec Room. But now I truly do expect that when we cross this room, we'll come back to where we first came in. Looks like the Robo-Dog... Oh, okay, the Robo-Dogs do break our chain, so... Bulkhead 3. That's it. Alright, so we're coming... Still doesn't seem to have a great hit percentage with this sword, but... So it does seem apparent that we got to get into the middle. Ooh, interesting. Shouldn't have sped that up. We didn't get a chance to see that enemy and its rather unique look. I don't know what those enemies are supposed to be or making the noises. Okay, this is some kind of platform we're meant to fly up on, I suppose. It is its own room. There are lift controls here, folks, and we can use them, I would imagine, to operate the lift. We'll do that next time as part of our continuing efforts to end this LP. I'm the MysteriousJG. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.